So this is the Famileasy Living wagon. We have two other models in our line. The Rider, which is also a four-seater wagon. We also have a six-seater wagon, which I don't think you'll be carrying. So just so you know. This one's called the Living. This one's called the Rider. The big one's called the Big Guy. They're all plays on the word easy. So Famileasy Rider, Famileasy Living, Famileasy Living. Yeah, exactly. One of the core benefits of these wagons, first of all, it can fit 4 kids and be folded into your car. That's kind of the main thing, right? Before recently, that didn't really exist. Another thing is the fact that it's got a very high weight capacity and tons of storage. So 330-pound weight capacity. This wagon weighs only 50 pounds. Which isn't light, but when you consider that it can carry 4 children and 330 pounds, it's pretty reasonable.
175 per seat, or is that?
Per bench, yes. So it's a 2-seat bench, but it can be used by 1 child as well. 4 5-point harnesses. And one of the reasons we have a much higher weight capacity than any other company is because we found they're very popular with families that have children with special needs. So sometimes they use them well into their teenage years. On that note, most strollers, kids won't get in them after 3 years old, so you're buying them for this much time. These will take kids up until about 8 years old. Personally, I have a 6, 4, and twin 2-year-olds. I put them all in, even in snowsuits, even with extra stuff packed under the benches. You load it up, no problem.
So you created this? Or is it?
Yeah, this is my company, Famileasy. Like I said, I've got 4 small children, and I needed a way to get them around, and there wasn't much out there. The brands that did exist were not selling in Canada, or if they were, we're selling at just a ludicrous price. So, for instance, you may have heard of Wonderfold. Those wagons are $12.99 in Canada. This one is $8.99. This one's $7.99. So we've made it much more approachable for Canadian families. So one of the core benefits of this wagon for the extra $100 compared to the Rider is that the canopy is very, very easy to use. You don't have to remove it. You can slide it side to side if you need. And there are 4 little locks here. Because most children will grab things and pull them, and you need the locks to keep the canopy up. But you can just move the fabric to the side. It's stuck on there. And it just goes in and disappears. There are 2 push handles, adjustable to 7 different positions. Thumb buttons here. You can put them right out of the way, or extend them very, very high. If you're really tall like me, I'm in nowhere near kicking the stroller, which is something people are looking for all the time. Am I going to kick the foot brake? Is it going to be, am I going to have to hunch? And the same thing with shorter mothers and stuff. They want to know that they can push it comfortably. So this one has much longer handles than the Rider. You see the Rider has shorter handles. That's another one of the features of this wagon. The third big one is the wheels. These are the biggest wheels available on any stroller wagon anywhere. They're designed for Canadian winters and beach excursions. And they are 14 inches in diameter and 3 inches across. And the front ones are 9 inches in diameter and 2 3/4 inches across. The other thing about having a second handlebar, where most other companies don't, is if I'm on a side slope or in rough terrain and I'm pushing, ideally I don't want the smaller pivoting wheels. You can go from this side. Now you're going down the sidewalk, every driveway you go past, you're not fighting the pull, it just tracks forward, which is very, very helpful. Because as you can imagine, you load it with a bunch of weight, it can start to get difficult to manage. We've got a 1-foot brake system here. It's flip-flop friendly. Okay. If you need to clean the wheels or fold it down smaller to fit in your car, they're quick release. Basket here has a zippered lid, pops on and off no problem. So If you take off the back wheels and the basket, you get a few extra inches. You can fit in most vehicles. I suggest to people, if you have a van or an SUV, which most people with this many kids will have to have, this is fine. If you have a compact car, that one will fold down right into a smart car. It's real time. So, folding it up. Just get rid of the handlebars. You have to take off the side clips of the benches. They start out a little bit stiff, but they loosen up in time. These just go into place with magnet, these side flaps. That's to fold them in when you're folding up the wagon. And then let's pull this tab out and go up. And you're clipped.
So it's just the one side that you have to unclip?
Just the one. You're good to go.
Don't mind me as director video.
No, please do.
So you just
You pull it out and then you pull up on this. Yeah. And if you kind of get low on it, you just pull it across. Yeah. Once you get the hang of it, it's kind of a fluid motion, but yeah. And then, you know, if you still have to move it around a little bit, it's not hard. It is a bit of a hoist to get 50 pounds in and out of, you know, a vehicle for most people, but the Wonderful, for instance, is 68 pounds. So this is 50 pounds, it's manageable. 68 pounds, not really something. The other one at 40 pounds is
So it's Canadian design, but made in
China.
China.
Everything's made.
But it is,
Except for
you are
Picture
from
Rig.
Canada, that's actually
Yeah. We live in Richmond Hill. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I thought I saw Richmond Hill on the address for the box.
Yeah. That's us. We're a real Canadian family-run business. You know, people like to know that. They tend to buy into that. You know, and
Yeah.
and
How long have you
we
been around for?
just over 2 years, so we're still pretty new. This is the first store we're going into. We've had a lot of success selling online. It's going very, very well. But I'd like people to stop coming to my house and seeing wagons.
Yeah.
So this is a great fit.
No, especially if you're in Richmond Hill, we're a good fit for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a ton of business in Ontario, lots throughout Canada, a little bit in the States, but we'll be growing that business. Yeah. So, oh, there's also a ton of storage. You've got one big pocket here, 2 other pockets here.
You said it was 900?
Yeah, $8.99. Yep. And side pockets here. You also have this pocket here, and this is what we call the doggy door. Yeah, it's great. Lots of people have pets and use it. Lots of people let their kids climb around. You know, like you'll find people use them for things like, you know, my older son has a sporting event, but I got to bring my other 2 kids across the field over to the thing with a cooler and a couple of lawn chairs. I've done that kind of thing. Like without a wagon, it's tough.
This would be good for camping.
It's great for camping.
in next month.
So this one, there's actually, for the rider, there's actually skis available. And when I go to my friend's cottage in the winter, that's the only way we can get in and out. We each take an end, load everything in. There's a huge hill, no plow. So, you know, they're really useful even long after you have children. You can take the benches out. But, you know, like I said, if you used it until your children are 8 years old, you got your money's worth. You know.
So you said your main competition is Wonder or whatever?
Wonderful. That's probably the big one, but you know, they've got a ton of marketing. They've got great. Sorry.
Our big seller is the beer, for instance.
Right. So, yeah, I wouldn't even put this in the same category as beer so much. I mean, they're both stroller wagons, but the elevated bench seating it just kind of puts it in a different class altogether. And it also, you know, I think that beer is very hard, solid product, where this is a little bit more malleable, a little more soft, comfortable. This is really about the comfort for the kids, and If you have kids, you know that when they're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable.
My kids are 14 and 18, but yeah,
And it
I remember.
probably still applies. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the story on that. We have a ton of accessories. You guys don't have any yet, but I'm sure you're going
What
to.
accessories are available?
So we have 4 different floor coverings. We've got a floor liner, a rubber floor mat. We've got something like a WeatherTech, we call a fitted floor mat. We have a cotton wagon floor liner for nap times. Oh, another feature I didn't tell you about is in this inside here. Let me get this out of the way. You'll see there is a zipper. Inside that zipper is a side panel that comes down and velcros to the bottom here, so you can block off wind, you can block off sun, whatever you need to do. So it's a great spot for nap times. It's a great spot to change your kids at the splash pad, get a little bit of privacy.
So pack and play on wheels.
It's a pack and play on wheels in many, many ways. I've seen people even just take this when they go to stay at like grandpa and grandma's house, and they just pop the wheels off and they bring it into the house, and that's where the kids sleep. And the kids are familiar with it.
Yeah.
Right? Which, you know, in a new house, or new to them, you know, they forget everything every 3 months, it's a new house again. You know, it can help them sleep for sure. What else? So we have the floor things. We have a snack tray. Fits right across here, has 4 cup holders, turns it into a picnic table on wheels. So when you're out, you don't have to worry about mealtime, you don't have to worry about nap time. You know, you don't have to worry about how am I going to carry that, because there's so much storage. So it solves a lot of problems. Yeah, what else? Just back to the ages of the kids, you know, a lot of people will, the kids will stop going in the stroller at 3 years old, but the reality is they still get tired, and they don't last on big days. And you want to go to the zoo, you want to go to Wonderland, you want to go to Center Island, but you're kind of scared to, like, what happens 2 hours into it when they run out of batteries? Do we have to pack everything up and go home?
What age do you recommend for it to start at? So
it's safety certified from 6 months until 175 pounds. There's no height limit, because there's no real need for one.
I just saw one of my coworkers had in there a few minutes ago.
Yeah. See, yeah. My wife used to sit in it and breastfeed while the other kids were on the play structure. You know, it's just kind of, it works for adults in many cases. Not for me. I'm a bit big for it, but regular sized humans will fit in this. Yes. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's a lot of the benefits. The snack tray will help you kind of feed your kids without stressing out about, you know, where am I gonna find a table and chairs that they won't fall off of, and is it clean?
Yeah.
You know,